All right, let's explore this sales value at the split-off method allocation problem. Choice chicken grows and processes chickens. Each chicken is disassembled into 5 main parts. Choice chicken is computing the ending inventory values for its July 31st, 2014 balance sheet. Ending inventory amounts on July 31st are 25 pounds of breasts, 7 pounds of wings, 6 pounds of thighs, 4 pounds of bones, and 2 pounds of feathers. Choice Chicken's management wants to use the sales value at split-off method. However, management wants you to explore the effects on ending inventory values of classifying one or more products as a byproduct rather than a joint product. And they give you the information that you see here. So, we've listed the pounds of product across the top. Then we have the wholesale selling price per pound. We have to assume that this is given or known. And we have the sales value at the split-off point. So that's a given. The next thing they give us, we could actually calculate a weighting of the sales value at the split-off. So if we take 50 and we divide it by 80.5, we get 0.621. If we take 9 and divide it by 80, we get 0.112. 12 divided by 80, we get 0.149, and so forth. So the total illustrates that these are just weighting factors coming up to a total of 100%, or 1 in whole dollars. Okay, then they calculate a joint cost allocated, and they do this in this table off of the sales value split off. So we take $50 times 0.621, and they come up with 31.05. Then they took the same $50 times 0.112 to come up with 560, the same $50 times 0.149 to come up with 745, and so forth. And finally, they provide us with the allocated cost per pound. Okay, the allocated cost per pound is calculated by taking the joint cost allocated and dividing it by the pounds of product. So $31.05 of joint cost allocated divided by 125 pounds gives you an allocated cost per pound for breast. And then we do the same thing with wings, thighs, and bones. So 560 divided by 30 gets you 18.67 cents is your allocated cost per pound. Okay, I just wanted to explain how that number is getting derived. Okay, next we read this information right here. Joint costs are the cost of a production process that yields multiple products simultaneously. The split-off point is the juncture in a joint production process when 2 or more products becomes separately identifiable. The company has decided to use the sales value at the split-off method to allocate their joint costs. The sales value at the split-off method allocates joint costs to joint products on the basis of the relative total sales value at the split-off point. And so we get to the first requirement. Assume Choice Chicken classifies all 5 products as joint products. What are the ending inventory values of each product at the end of July 31st, 2014? And the company has already calculated the allocated cost per pound for each product. So we'll assume that's already been calculated. Use that information to calculate the ending inventory value of each product. Okay? So here's what you'd have to do. You go back in the information and you'd say, well, how many pounds did they have in inventory? And they gave us earlier 25, 7, 6, 4, and 2 for breast, wings, thighs, bones, and feathers. And then we have the allocated cost per pound, which they already gave us. We're treating that as a given. And then all we have to do is multiply the pounds in inventory by the allocated cost per pound. And that gives us our ending inventory value for each product. Okay? So we're able to come up with the total amount of ending inventory. Then requirement 2 says, assume choice chicken uses the production method of accounting for byproducts. What are the ending inventory values for each joint product on July 31st, 2014, assuming breasts and thighs are the joint products and wings, bones, and feathers are byproducts? Okay, next paragraph. Joint production process may yield not only joint products and main products, but also byproducts. And although byproducts have low total sales value compared with the total sales value of joint or main products, the presence of byproducts in a joint production process can impact the allocation of joint costs. So the company has now determined that only breast and thighs are the joint products, with the remaining products being categorized as byproducts. We know that the sales value at the split-off method allocates joint costs to joint products on the basis of the relative total sales value at the split-off point. Therefore, the breasts and thighs are the only products that should be allocated as joint costs. Now, the joint products are not allocated by the entire joint cost when they're byproducts. Instead, we use net realizable value from the byproducts produced to offset against the cost of the main products. So the NRV, or net realizable value of the byproducts, is equal to the sales value at the split-off of the byproducts, and you can use the formula below to calculate the joint cost to be allocated. All right, well, the joint costs are $50 given above. Where'd we come up with that? Right here. The joint cost allocated was the $50, so it came from right here. Slide back down here. And the net realizable value would be the sales value at the split-off, which we calculated as 9 for wings, bones, and feathers. Now, how do we come up with that? Wings, bones, and feathers. So that information was given to us. So 9, 9, and 50 was our sales value at the split-off. So if we take the $50 of the joint costs and we subtract the $18.50 of the byproducts, we come up with $31.40 is the joint cost to be allocated right there. Okay, so now we can start the allocation. And here's how we do it. We list the breast and thighs, right? Come up with a total. I should move that to the right. And it might be easier if I underline that. Okay? So that's how many pounds of products we had. That was given. The wholesale selling price was given. Wholesale selling price of 40 cents. The sales value of the split-off. We come up with a total. And then we do a weighting. Well, where did that weighting come from? Well, it's just 50 divided by the total sales value of the main products. Okay? So that's 80%. This is 19% for 100%. And I'm just showing it as percentage as well. Now that we have that percentage, we can allocate the joint costs. Okay? So we have the pounds of product, the wholesale selling price, the sales value at the split-off, and we have the weighting that we just calculated above, 80.65 and 1935. So we can then do our joint cost allocation. Oh, I had one typo here. 50 minus 1850 is 3150, not 3140. Okay, so if we then take the 3140 times that new allocation, 0.806, I'll get 2539. Okay, take the 3150 times the 0.9, I'll get 611, so that's our allocation. And from there, we can derive the allocated cost per pound. Let me slide down so you can see that. Okay, now the 0.2031 is the $25.39 divided by the pounds of product. Okay, so if you take 25.39 and divide it by 125, you'll come up with that, 20.31 cents or $20031. And then to come up with the 2037, we're taking the $6.11 joint cost allocated divided by the 30 pounds we had. Okay, and those are the steps involved in working through this allocation problem.